Welcome back to our channel. Today, we delve into the remarkable life of Audie Murphy, the most decorated soldier in American history. Rising from a humble rural upbringing in Texas, Murphy's journey took him from the cotton fields to the harrowing battlefields of World War II, where his acts of valor became the stuff of legend. But his story doesn't end there. From conquering the horrors of war to navigating the glitz of Hollywood, and from personal struggles to becoming a voice for veterans, Audie Murphy's life is one of resilience, courage, and unshakable determination. Join us as we explore the extraordinary legacy of this American hero, whose story continues to inspire generations. Childhood. Let's take a deeper look into the early life of Audie Murphy, a man whose journey from humble beginnings to legendary heroism is as inspiring as it is extraordinary. Audie Murphy was born on June 20, 1925, in Kingston, Texas, a small, unassuming rural town nestled in Hunt County in the northeastern part of the state. It was here, amid the simplicity of country life, that his remarkable story began. He was the seventh of 12 siblings, born into a family of richly diverse ancestry that included English, Irish, Scotch-Irish, Scottish, and German roots. His ancestry reflected America's diversity, a mix of cultures and shared strength. Yet, life in the Murphy household was far from idyllic. From an early age, Audie experienced the weight of responsibility. Growing up in Farmersville, Greenville, and Celeste, small towns scattered across northeastern Texas, he lived a childhood marked by stark contrasts. On one hand, there was the unspoiled beauty of rural Texas, where fields stretched endlessly, and time seemed to move a little slower. On the other, there was the harsh reality of poverty and survival. Even as a boy, Murphy's character was shaped by hardship. His mood swings and fiery temper were reflections of a young mind burdened with responsibilities far beyond his years. His educational journey came to an abrupt halt in the 5th grade, not because he lacked the ability or ambition, but because duty called. With his family struggling to make ends meet, Audie left school to work in the cotton fields. Picture this, a young boy, barely a teenager, working long, grueling days under the relentless Texas sun for just $1 a day. Yet, it wasn't just the physical labor that defined this period of his life, it was the way he met these challenges head-on. Audie didn't allow his circumstances to break him. Instead, they honed his resolve. He even taught himself to become a skilled marksman, hunting small game to supplement his family's meager meals. Every rabbit or squirrel he brought home wasn't just food, it was a testament to his growing self-reliance. But the most profound blow came in 1941, with the loss of his mother to endocarditis and pneumonia. Her death left a void that no amount of resilience could fully fill. For Audie, her passing was more than a tragedy, it was a pivotal moment that forced him to grow up almost overnight. Without a maternal figure to guide him and with his father having already drifted away from the family, Murphy became the backbone of his household. He was no longer just a child, he was a provider, a protector, and a source of hope for his siblings. These early years were not just a prelude to his later heroics but the crucible in which his character was forged. The challenges he faced as a child taught him to be determined and resilient. Despite the loss, the poverty, and the weight of responsibility, a dream began to take shape in young Audie's heart, the dream of becoming a soldier. Perhaps it was the discipline and purpose the military seemed to offer, or perhaps it was a deeper calling, a desire to transcend the limitations of his circumstances and prove his worth. Whatever the reason, this dream would soon become the driving force of his life, setting him on a path that would transform a small-town boy into one of the most celebrated heroes in American history. Military career. Let's take a closer look at Audie Murphy's extraordinary military career, a journey defined by unwavering determination and courage that transformed a young man, rejected for his size and age, into one of the most celebrated war heroes in history. Audie Murphy's path to becoming a soldier was anything but smooth. Rejected not once, but 3 times by the Army, Navy, and Marine Corps, he was told he was too young, too small, and too underweight to serve his country. For most, these obstacles would have marked the end of the road. But not for Murphy. His dream of fighting for his country burned so brightly that he refused to give up. In an act of sibling loyalty, his sister falsified his birthday to make him eligible for enlistment. And so, on June 30, 1942, Murphy officially joined the U.S. Army, unaware that he was embarking on a career that would redefine heroism. When Murphy arrived at basic training, no one could have imagined the heights he would reach. Standing at just 5 feet 5 inches and weighing a mere 112 pounds, he didn't cut the figure of a future war hero. But appearances can be deceiving. Despite his slight frame, Murphy proved to be a natural soldier. His steady hand and sharp aim earned him multiple badges for marksmanship, and his bayonet skills showcased his fearlessness in the face of danger. These early accomplishments hinted at the greatness to come, but they were only the beginning of his story. As World War II raged on, Murphy's legend began to take shape. His first combat experiences came during the Allied assault landings in Sicily, where he quickly distinguished himself as a courageous and resourceful soldier. From there, he fought in pivotal battles across Europe, demonstrating time and again that he possessed an unshakable resolve. Whether it was leading ambushes, defending positions against overwhelming enemy forces, or manning a machine gun under relentless fire, Murphy's acts of valor became the stuff of legend. But it was at the Colmar Pocket in January 1945 that Audie Murphy cemented his place in history. Picture this: a young soldier, wounded and outnumbered, mounting a burning tank destroyer as enemy forces advanced. With no regard for his own safety, Murphy manned the tank's .50 caliber machine gun and opened fire, holding off the German troops single-handedly for an astonishing hour. His bravery saved many lives and changed the course of the battle. For this act of unparalleled heroism, Murphy was awarded the Medal of Honor, the highest military decoration in the United States. As Murphy's battlefield exploits continued, so did his rapid rise through the ranks. By February 1945, he had achieved the rank of first lieutenant, a position earned through leadership, courage, and a deep commitment to his comrades. His accolades were staggering. Murphy became the recipient of every U.S. military combat award for valor, including the Distinguished Service Cross, 2 Silver Stars, and the Bronze Star Medal with Valor device. Yet his recognition extended far beyond American borders. France honored him with the Legion of Honor and the Croix de Guerre, while Belgium awarded him the Croix de Guerre as well. His bravery resonated internationally, and his name became synonymous with heroism. Murphy's military career wasn't just about the medals, though they were many. It was a story of perseverance, grit, and a relentless refusal to give up. He wasn't handed greatness, he earned it, step by step, in the crucible of war. It's this journey rising from rejection to unmatched heroism that makes his story so powerful. Audie Murphy's legacy continues to inspire. His heroics remind us that greatness doesn't come from circumstances but from character. It's no wonder that fans, veterans, and historians alike regard him as a symbol of the American spirit. Social media today still lights up with admiration as people share stories of his bravery. Documentaries, articles, and fan tributes keep his memory alive, ensuring that his name remains etched in the hearts of those who value courage and sacrifice. Post-war struggles. Let's dive deeper into Audie Murphy's post-war struggles, a chapter of his life that revealed not just his resilience as a soldier, but his unyielding courage as a human being battling inner demons. When Audie Murphy returned from the war, the medals on his chest and the applause of a grateful nation couldn't shield him from the invisible scars he carried. The trauma of World War II followed him home, manifesting as what we now recognize as PTSD, but was then labeled as battle fatigue or shell shock. Back then, conversations about mental health, especially for veterans, were rare, and resources for help were almost non-existent. Yet, Murphy found himself in the center of this silent storm, fighting an enemy he couldn't see but felt in every waking moment. Fans who idolized Murphy as a war hero and a Hollywood actor were often shocked to learn about the extent of his personal struggles. Behind the polished image on movie screens was a man haunted by nightmares of combat and the weight of survivor's guilt. Many veterans who looked up to Murphy later expressed gratitude, saying his willingness to speak about these issues made them feel less alone. In interviews, Murphy admitted that he struggled with insomnia, depression, and recurring flashbacks of war, a harrowing truth that made him relatable to countless soldiers. Media coverage of Murphy's struggles also brought much-needed attention to the plight of veterans dealing with the mental toll of war. Fans and journalists alike praised his honesty, calling him not just a hero on the battlefield, but also a hero for breaking the stigma around mental health. One headline from the time described him as a soldier still fighting his war, a sentiment that resonated deeply with a nation coming to terms with the emotional costs of World War II. His dependency on sleeping pills became another battle to overcome. In the mid-1960s, Murphy made headlines when he locked himself away for a week to break free from his addiction. Stories of his determination spread through the media, and fans flooded him with letters of support. Many admired his refusal to give in, proving once again that he was a fighter, whether the battle was external or internal. One veteran commented in a letter that Murphy's fight against addiction gave him the courage to seek help for his own struggles, but Murphy didn't stop at addressing his own challenges. He used his fame to advocate for others. Through heartfelt speeches and public appearances, he spoke openly about PTSD, a topic many avoided at the time. This wasn't just an act of bravery, it was a lifeline for countless veterans who felt isolated in their experiences. His fans, including many servicemen and women, often remarked on how his candor made him a true leader, not just on the battlefield but in the fight for veterans' rights. Murphy's advocacy led to one of his most enduring legacies, the Audie Murphy Memorial VA Hospital in San Antonio, Texas. This institution became a safe haven for veterans seeking care for physical and mental wounds. For many, the hospital was a tangible representation of Murphy's fight for them, a place where they felt seen and understood. Visitors and patients frequently left notes or flowers at the hospital, thanking Murphy for the hope he gave them. Even after his passing Hollywood career, Audie Murphy's incredible story didn't stop on the battlefield. It continued in Hollywood, where he transformed into a symbol of bravery and resilience on the silver screen. His journey from a war hero to a movie star captured the hearts of fans across America and beyond. But what made Murphy's Hollywood story so compelling wasn't just his success on screen, it was his unwavering principles and the way he carried his heroism into a completely new arena. Murphy's introduction to Hollywood came after a Life magazine article brought his wartime heroics into the national spotlight. The public was captivated by this modest young man from Texas who had risen to become America's most decorated soldier. Hollywood, always on the lookout for compelling stories, saw an opportunity. With his rugged good looks and undeniable authenticity, Murphy became an instant subject of fascination for filmmakers and audiences alike. His first significant foray into acting was in To Hell and Back, the movie adaptation of his autobiography. Imagine sitting in a theater and watching the very man who lived through unimaginable war horrors reenact his experiences on screen. Fans were awestruck. Many commented on how Murphy's performance wasn't just acting, it was a raw, real depiction of courage under fire. His quiet yet powerful demeanor resonated deeply, particularly with veterans who felt that his story mirrored their own. Critics praised his ability to convey emotion and tension with a naturalness that many seasoned actors struggled to achieve. Murphy didn't stop with To Hell and Back. Over the years, he appeared in more than 40 films, showcasing his versatility and depth. From gritty westerns like The Cimarron Kid to collaborations with legendary directors like John Huston and The Red Badge of Courage, Murphy proved that his talents weren't limited to the battlefield. Fans loved seeing him embody roles that reflected his true spirit, honest, strong, and unyielding in the face of adversity. Many took to fan clubs and letters to express their admiration, with some even dubbing him the everyman's hero. But life in Hollywood wasn't all glamour. While Murphy enjoyed success on screen, he faced personal and financial struggles behind the scenes. Poor investments, gambling, and mounting tax issues made his life far more complicated than it appeared to his fans. Yet even in the face of these challenges, Murphy never compromised his values. He famously turned down lucrative offers to endorse cigarettes and alcohol, refusing to promote products he believed could harm the youth who looked up to him. His decision sparked widespread admiration. Letters poured in from parents, teachers, and young fans, applauding his stance and reinforcing his image as a role model who stayed true to his principles. Murphy's commitment to his values became a focal point in media coverage of his career. Newspapers and magazines often highlighted his refusal to sell out, contrasting it with the behavior of other celebrities of the time. Fans were drawn to his authenticity, seeing in him a rare figure who remained grounded despite his fame. One veteran fan wrote, "Audie didn't just fight for us in the war, he's still fighting for what's right." Even in Hollywood, social media today continues to celebrate Murphy's Hollywood career. Platforms like YouTube and Instagram are filled with clips from his films, fan-made tributes, and discussions about his legacy. His portrayal of real-life heroism combined with his on-screen performances has kept his memory alive, inspiring new generations to learn about his incredible life. Murphy's Hollywood chapter wasn't just about acting, it was about using his platform for something greater. He frequently spoke about veterans' issues, using his fame to bring attention to the challenges they faced. His performances were more than entertainment, they were a way to connect with audiences on a deeper level. Murphy remained a hero, both in front of the camera and behind the scenes, standing for integrity and purpose in an industry often focused on profit, marriage, and family. While Murphy's career on screen was flourishing, his personal life also saw its share of challenges and joys. Audie Murphy's personal life was as layered and fascinating as the rest of his remarkable journey. While the world knew him as a celebrated war hero and Hollywood star, his private life revealed a man navigating love, loss, and the pursuit of peace in a world that rarely offered him a moment of respite. In 1949, Murphy's first marriage to actress Wanda Hendricks made headlines, capturing the public's attention as the union between a celebrated war hero and a rising Hollywood star. At first glance, it seemed like a match made in the spotlight. Fans were captivated by their story, with magazines frequently featuring the couple in glowing profiles. However, behind the glamour was a relationship struggling to withstand the weight of Murphy's post-war trauma. The emotional scars he carried, nightmares, anxiety, and mood swings, created challenges that were difficult to overcome. Their marriage, though filled with promise, ended in divorce just 2 years later in 1951. The news of their separation shocked the public. Fans expressed their heartbreak in letters and forums, with many acknowledging how deeply the war had affected Murphy's ability to find stability. Some even called it a tragedy, not because of scandal or drama, but because it highlighted how even heroes like Murphy were human, vulnerable to the same struggles as everyone else. Not long after, Murphy found a fresh start in Pamela Opal Lee Archer, a former airline stewardess who would become his greatest source of support. Their marriage in 1951 marked the beginning of a new chapter for Murphy, one that brought much-needed stability and love into his life. Pamela was often described as a calming influence, someone who understood Murphy's struggles without judgment. Friends of the couple noted how her unwavering support helped Murphy find balance in his otherwise chaotic life. The couple went on to have 2 sons, Terry Michael and James Shannon, who became Murphy's pride and joy. For a man who had spent much of his early life fighting battles both on and off the battlefield, fatherhood offered him a sense of fulfillment that no medal or movie role could match. Fans were thrilled to see this softer side of Murphy, with many commenting on how his dedication to his family made him even more relatable and inspiring. Interviews and candid photographs of Murphy spending time with his boys often appeared in magazines, earning admiration from fans who saw him as not just a hero but a devoted father. One of the most surprising aspects of Murphy's personal life was his passion for breeding quarter horses. At his ranches in California and Arizona, Murphy found solace in the quiet beauty of nature and the simple joy of caring for his horses. This wasn't just a casual pastime, it was a labor of love. Murphy invested both time and money into building a respected breeding program, and his ranches became his sanctuary from the pressures of Hollywood and his lingering wartime memories. Fans were fascinated by this side of Murphy, with many traveling to see his ranches or writing to express their admiration for his dedication to such a humble and honest pursuit. Some even compared his work with horses to his time in the military, noting the discipline, patience, and care he poured into his ranching efforts. Murphy's horses became a symbol of his ability to channel his focus and energy into something positive and rewarding. The media also found this part of Murphy's life compelling. Profiles often showcased his life on the ranch, with stunning photographs of him alongside his horses in wide-open fields. These images stood in stark contrast to the war-torn landscapes that had defined much of his earlier life, offering fans a glimpse of the peace he had worked so hard to achieve. Through it all, Murphy remained grounded. Despite the fame, financial struggles, and personal hardships, he never lost sight of the values that defined him: courage, resilience, and loyalty. His ability to rebuild his personal life, find love, and dedicate himself to his family and passions made him a role model not just for his generation but for those who came after. Even today, fans on social media celebrate Murphy's personal life. Posts and videos often highlight his devotion to his family, his work on the ranch, and his unwavering ability to find joy and purpose despite his challenges. Comment sections are filled with admiration, with many calling him a true example of perseverance and integrity. Scandals. Audie Murphy, despite his legendary status as a war hero and Hollywood star, was not immune to the challenges that often accompany a life lived in the spotlight. In May 1970, an incident involving a dispute with a dog trainer thrust Murphy into controversy, leading to his arrest on charges of battery and assault. Although he was ultimately acquitted, the event sent shockwaves through the public, offering a rare glimpse into the struggles and volatility that lay beneath his stoic exterior. At the time, news of Murphy's arrest spread quickly, with headlines splashed across newspapers and magazines. Fans were stunned. How could someone who symbolized courage, resilience, and integrity be involved in such a situation? Many rushed to his defense, arguing that the pressures of fame and the lingering effects of his wartime trauma likely played a role. Others were more critical, questioning how a man of his stature could find himself in such a predicament. On social media platforms today, you can still find discussions surrounding this moment in Murphy's life. Fans often point out how this controversy revealed his humanity, showing that even a man of his incredible accomplishments was not without flaws. One fan wrote, "Audie Murphy wasn't just a hero, he was a person with struggles, just like the rest of us. That's what makes his story so relatable." To understand the incident, it's important to consider Murphy's post-war battles with post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD. For years, Murphy had been open about the psychological toll of his wartime experiences. Flashbacks, insomnia, and mood swings were all part of his reality. At a time when PTSD was poorly understood and rarely discussed, Murphy was one of the few public figures willing to speak about it openly. The confrontation with the dog trainer, while unfortunate, served as a stark reminder of how deeply those invisible wounds affected him. The media's reaction to the incident was mixed. Some outlets sensationalized the story, portraying Murphy as a fallen hero. Others, however, took a more compassionate approach, emphasizing his history of service and the immense personal battles he faced after returning home. Many veterans groups rallied to his defense, using the controversy to shed light on the struggles faced by countless servicemen and women who, like Murphy, bore the scars of war long after leaving the battlefield. Public reaction was equally divided. Fans flooded Murphy with letters of support, expressing their unwavering admiration and understanding. "You've been through so much," one fan wrote. "No one can judge you for a moment of weakness." Others were more critical, though their voices were often drowned out by those who continued to view Murphy as a hero deserving of empathy. Murphy himself handled the situation with characteristic resolve. He denied any wrongdoing and worked diligently to clear his name, eventually being acquitted of all charges. His ability to weather the storm only strengthened his reputation among his supporters, who saw the incident not as a blemish on his legacy but as a testament to his resilience. Interestingly, this controversy also sparked important conversations about mental health and the challenges faced by veterans. For many, Murphy's struggles made him even more relatable. He wasn't just a larger-than-life figure, he was a man grappling with the same issues that so many others faced. His honesty about these struggles, combined with his efforts to advocate for better care for veterans, cemented his status as a true hero, not just for his actions in war but for his continued fight to support those who served. The incident with the dog trainer, while a low point in Murphy's life, ultimately served to deepen the public's understanding of him. It showed that even the greatest heroes are human, and that their challenges can pave the way for greater awareness and compassion. Today, many fans view this moment not as a scandal but as a reminder of the importance of mental health advocacy, particularly for those who have sacrificed so much in service to their country. Social media posts, fan documentaries, and tributes frequently revisit this chapter of Murphy's life, highlighting how it brought attention to the hidden battles faced by veterans. One popular comment reads, "Audie Murphy showed us that heroes aren't perfect, they're real." That's why his legacy continues to inspire. Death and legacy. Audie Murphy's life came to an untimely and tragic end on May 28, 1971, in a plane crash near Roanoke, Virginia. The weather that day was unforgiving. Thick fog, relentless rain, and zero visibility created a treacherous situation for the private plane carrying Murphy and 5 others. As the aircraft collided with a mountainside, it extinguished the life of one of America's greatest heroes, leaving the nation in shock and mourning. News of the crash spread quickly, with headlines across the country paying tribute to the most decorated soldier in U.S. history. Fans, veterans, and public figures alike expressed their grief at the sudden loss of a man whose courage and humility had inspired millions. Many were struck by the tragic irony: a man who had survived countless battles during World War II, repeatedly defying death, had lost his life in a peacetime accident. The public reaction was overwhelming. Letters of condolence flooded the Murphy family's mailbox, and countless tributes appeared in newspapers and on television. Social media platforms today are filled with posts commemorating that tragic day, with fans sharing their thoughts on Murphy's legacy. One particularly heartfelt comment reads, "Audie Murphy didn't just fight for his country, he showed us how to live with integrity, even in the face of unimaginable pain." Murphy's burial at Arlington National Cemetery was a moment of national significance. The ceremony, attended by military leaders, dignitaries, and ordinary citizens, was a solemn reminder of his unparalleled contributions. Among the attendees were Ambassador George H.W. Bush and Army Chief of Staff William Westmoreland, who both spoke of Murphy's bravery and selflessness. The presentation of full military honors, with the playing of taps and the folding of the American flag, brought tears to the eyes of those gathered. In keeping with Murphy's humble nature, his gravesite is marked by a simple headstone, his personal request. While others might choose grand monuments, Murphy's decision reflected his lifelong belief that actions speak louder than words. Today, his grave remains one of the most visited sites at Arlington, second only to President John F. Kennedy's. Visitors often leave flowers, letters, and tokens of appreciation, a testament to the lasting impact Murphy has had on generations of Americans. Beyond his burial, Murphy's legacy has been celebrated through countless tributes. Hollywood honored him with a star on the Walk of Fame, recognizing his contributions to the film industry, where he portrayed roles that resonated with authenticity and heart. His performance in To Hell and Back, based on his autobiography, remains one of the most powerful depictions of the realities of war, bringing his story to life for millions. In his home state of Texas, Murphy is remembered as a native son who embodied courage and determination. The Texas Legislative Medal of Honor, awarded posthumously, stands as one of the highest recognitions of his service. Streets, schools, and memorials across the state bear his name, ensuring that his story remains a part of Texas history. Perhaps the most enduring tribute to Murphy's life and advocacy is the Audie L. Murphy Memorial VA Hospital in San Antonio, Texas. The hospital serves thousands of veterans each year, providing care for those who, like Murphy, carry the physical and emotional scars of war. Patients and staff often speak of the inspiration they draw from Murphy's legacy, with one veteran stating, "Walking through these halls, I feel like Audie is still fighting for us." Media coverage of Murphy's legacy has continued to keep his memory alive. Documentaries, books, and fan-made tributes frequently highlight his bravery, resilience, and advocacy for veterans. Social media has amplified these efforts, with younger generations discovering his story and sharing their admiration. One fan recently commented, "Audie Murphy isn't just a hero from history, he's a hero for all time." The outpouring of love and respect for Murphy is a testament to the deep connection people feel to his story. His life serves as a reminder that heroism isn't just about courage in battle, it's about humility, resilience, and a commitment to lifting others up. Even decades after his passing, Murphy's legacy continues to inspire people from all walks of life, and that brings us to the end of Audie Murphy's incredible journey. From the battlefields of Europe to the bright lights of Hollywood, and through the challenges he faced as a veteran, his story is a testament to the power of bravery and perseverance. Audie Murphy's legacy lives on, not just in the countless honors and tributes he received, but in the hearts of those who continue to be inspired by his life. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed this dive into the life of America's most decorated soldier, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Stay tuned for more incredible stories, and we'll see you in the next video.